Welcome to our popular educational channel RES classes. Today I am going to tell about the Wildlife Protect Act 1972. The Wildlife Protection Act 1972 is an act of the Parliament of India enacted for protection of plants and animal species. The act provides for the protection of wild animals, birds and plants to ensure environmental and ecological security. This was the first umbrella act which established schedules of the protected plant and animal species. By this act, hunting or harvesting these species was banned. There are 6 schedules which give varying degrees of protection. Schedules of the Wildlife Protection Acts are as follows. Schedule 1. This schedule covers endangered species. These species need rigorous protection and therefore the harshest penalties for violation of the law are under this schedule. Species under this schedule are prohibited to be hunted throughout India except under threat to human life. Absolute protection is accorded to species on this list. The trade of these animals is prohibited. Examples: tiger, black buck, Himalayan brown bear, brow-antlered deer, blue whale, common dolphin, cheetah, clouded leopard, hornbills, Indian gazelle, etc. Schedule 2. Animals under this list are also accorded high protection. Their trade is prohibited. They cannot be hunted except under threat to human life. Examples: Kohinoor, Assamese macaw, Bengal Hanuman langur, large Indian civet, Indian fox, larger Kashmir flying squirrel, Kashmir fox, etc. Schedule 3 and 4. This list is for species that are not endangered. This includes protected species, but the penalty for any violation is less compared to the first 2 schedules. Examples: hyena, Himalayan rat, porcupine, flying fox, Malabar tree toad, etc. Schedule 5. This schedule contains animals that can be hunted. Examples: mice, rat, common crow, fruit bats, etc. Schedule 6. This list contains plants that are forbidden from cultivation. Examples: pitcher plant, blue vanda, red vanda, kut, etc. Out of these 6 schedules, Schedule 1 and Part 2 of Schedule 2 provide absolute protection, and offences under these are prescribed the highest penalties. The penalties for Schedule 3 and Schedule 4 are less and these animals are protected. Schedule 5 includes the animals which may be hunted. These are common crow, fruit bats, mice and rats only. Schedule 6 contains the plants which are prohibited from cultivation and planting. These plants are as follows: Bedom cycad, blue vanda, kut, ladies slipper orchids, pitcher plant, red vanda. Note: up to April 2010, there have been 16 convictions under this act relating to the death of tigers. Protected areas under the Wildlife Protection Act. There are 5 types of protected areas as provided under the Act. Wildlife sanctuaries. A wildlife sanctuary is declared by the state government by a notification. Boundaries can be altered by a resolution of the state legislature. They are naturally occurring areas where endangered species are protected from poaching, hunting, and predation. Here, animals are not bred for commercial exploitation. In wildlife sanctuaries, human activities, timber harvesting, collecting minor forest products, and private ownership rights are permitted as long as they do not interfere with the animal's well-being. Sanctuaries can be upgraded to the status of a national park. There are 553 existing wildlife sanctuaries in India, covering an area of 1,19,776 km per square, which is 3.64% of the geographical area of the country. National Wildlife Database, March 2019. National Parks. National parks are the areas that are set by the government to conserve the natural environment. The main objective of a national park is to protect the natural environment of the area and biodiversity conservation. Their boundaries are fixed and defined, and no human activity is allowed in the area. There are 104 national parks in India with an area of over 40,000 square kilometers till 2019. Conservation reserves. The state government may declare an area, particularly those adjacent to sanctuaries or parks, as conservation reserves after consulting with local communities. Community reserves. The state government may declare any private or community land as a community reserve after consultation with the local community or an individual who has volunteered to conserve the wildlife. Tiger reserves. These areas are reserved for the protection and conservation of the tigers in India. They are declared on the recommendations of the National Tiger Conservation Authority. There are 50 tiger reserves in India which are governed by Project Tiger, which is administered by the National Tiger Conservation Authority (NTCA). Significance of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. This act also provides provisions for the establishment of wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, etc. The National Board for Wildlife was constituted in 2003 as a statutory organization under the provisions of the Act. This is an advisory board that offers advice to the central government on issues of wildlife conservation in India. It is also the apex body to review and approve all matters related to wildlife projects of national parks, sanctuaries, etc. The chief function of the board is to promote the conservation and development of wildlife and forests. It is chaired by the Prime Minister. Provisions of this act paved the way for the formation of the Central Zoo Authority, which was established in year 1992. This is the central body responsible for the oversight of zoos in India. For the first time, a comprehensive list of the endangered wildlife of the country was prepared under the provisions of this act. Under the provision of this act, the hunting of endangered species was prohibited. Also, the scheduled animals are prohibited from being traded. The provisions of this act also provides for licenses for the sale, transfer and possessions of some wildlife species. The Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) has been empowered under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 to apprehend and prosecute wildlife offenders. The National Tiger Conservation Authority was established in December 2005 under the provisions of this act. It is a statutory body of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change with an overall supervisory and coordination part performing capacities as given in the Act. Its mandate is to strengthen tiger conservation in India. It gives a statutory authority to Project Tiger, which was launched in 1973 and has put the endangered tiger on a guaranteed path of revival by protecting it from extinction. The Act provides for the formation of wildlife advisory boards, wildlife wardens, specifies their powers and duties, etc., which helped India to become a party to the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wildlife, Fauna and Flora, CITES. CITES is a multilateral treaty with the objective of protecting endangered animals and plants. It is also known as the Washington Convention and was adopted as a result of a meeting of IUCN members. Constitutional provisions for the Wildlife Act. Article 48A. This article was added to the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment in 1976. This article of the Constitution of India directs the state to protect improve the environment and safeguard wildlife and forests. Article 51A. This article imposes fundamental duties for the citizens of India. Out of 11 fundamental duties, one is to protect and improve the natural environment including forests, lakes, rivers and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures. Thanking to all of you. Also wishes best of luck. For more and more information, please subscribe, like and share our channel RES Classes.